Afternoon. Good afternoon. Do my pants, do they clash? Am I just black up here? Yeah. On the video, probably, I'll be all floating. So good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully that stretch woke you up from lunch, right? Or at the last session, you guys probably slept. You should be awake. Second wind, right? So my name's Kim Darzi. I'm joined by Parag and Ashwin here. We're with American Airlines. We want to present to you today about our journey, about everything we've done to optimize our space, or not everything, but we want to highlight a couple things that we've done to optimize our space. But we're going to introduce ourselves a little bit. You can read some of the stuff that we've done, or our 10 years and whatnot, but I want to focus on the things that we're proud of, or that I'm proud of, that we've done at American Airlines to, I guess, birth and get this FinOps journey off, to where we are today. We have a centralized team at American Airlines, and I'm really proud of the fact that in as little as 18 months, we have formed this team and have brought it to the point where we pretty much consider ourselves power walking. We did a assessment, and yeah, we're pretty much power walking, even though there are no runners. I just found out this conference. So we were going towards running, and I got to go tell my boss that we just have to keep power walking. We've made our cloud very visible. We came from a place where, probably like all of you guys, have no visibility. We were just paying the bill, and people needed, we needed accountability. So we have a very robust tool that we use to make our cloud visible, and now we have it all tagged down to the application level. We're currently about 80% tagged, I would say 80 to 90% tagged and allocated, and we're currently in a showback model, trying to get to a chargeback model. We're leveraging our TCO concepts, not claiming TCO yet, but leveraging those concepts in order to get to that level, so everyone can slowly get acclimated to the terminologies. With so much more that we have in store for us, I think that's just a few of the things that we are proud of, or that I'm proud of, actually. And this is Parag.
So hey guys, this is Parag. So I'm joining with the Kim and Ashwin in the FinOps. So my role is mostly on the technical side. So I proudly say we have saved something about $2.1 million last year by doing the optimization on the clouds. And to be I'm working with the different business teams to walk through their architecture, basically based on the WEF, and also checking on their cost, availability, costing, and all things. And regarding that, we are also doing some of the low-hanging fruits, like optimization of our log analytic workspace, or unattached disk, or orphan disk, and all those things. I'm doing less work as compared to Kim. Ashwin.
Hi, I am Aswanidutt Dasara. I go by Ashwin. I am one of the leader deals with the innovation on the FinOps space, and I closely work with Kim and Parag and other leaders, Kevin, Vijay, Reshka, our leaders. We work with them, and we bring the innovation into our space. So as part of that, right? If you look at I have so many technologies I deal with on a daily basis, right? My proud moment with the FinOps is making everybody accountable in our space. And being in American Airlines, we have a bigger footprint, and making them everybody accountable for their resources is not a big task for us, but we had to go a lot of hurdles, but we make it possible. And if you look at the other cost-saving measures, we did spearheaded a lot of cost-saving measures. We achieved a lot of savings, and we had followed most of you and going through your solutions, and we might have implemented those as well to get the cost savings. But overall, we are a community, and we did it all together. And Another primary thing like we deal with is apart from the accountability, is the showback, right? And we are dealing with, we are working with all enterprise teams internal at American Airlines to do the showback for their resources. We are dealing with all of them. Yes.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you, Parag. So a couple of fun facts about American, just really quick, or hopefully really quick. We've been around for 94 years. We have a fleet size of 956 aircraft. We fly currently 6,380 flights a day with a workforce of 130,000 team members. We fly to over 350 destinations in over 60 countries. If you guys flew here, we thank you very much. Flew here on American. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Thank you, we appreciate that. And then our headquarters is in Dallas, Fort Worth. If you guys recognize any of these city codes, these are our major hubs, starting with Charlotte, Chicago, Dallas, LAX, Miami, JFK, Philadelphia, Phoenix, and DCA. Anyone get that wrong? Any of them wrong? That's pretty familiar, I think. Okay, so our cloud footprint, most of our muscle in FinOps is in Azure. Actually, I would say 98% of it is in Azure. That's where we started. That's where we had everyone move to when we migrated. So that's where we're flexing our muscle and building it. 89% of our cloud in Azure, 411 applications. We currently have an application level cost and budget variance visibility. We have our, along with that, the visibility, we also are able to show our application teams shared cost in that model. We provide visibility to our developers, engineers, and whatnot, their resource usage, their cost, optimization opportunities, so that they're able to make their data-driven decisions. We also have this new process where we have been able to email notification to teams where their budget variance is going over, so that they can work internally to either optimize or reduce cost or throw money at their budget, however they want to handle that. Our next cloud provider is IBM. Fixed cost, it's a small 7% of our cloud spend. Not very much monitoring that we need to do because it's fixed, so we just kind of leave it alone. It's for specialized workloads for specific app teams who chose to go IBM. AWS, very small footprint, but we are probably going to be growing that in the next coming years. 3% today. We're going to be testing that our FinOps multi-cloud model by starting to monitor AWS as well. Google, I'm sorry if you're in here, it's a very, much of a rounding error for us. Another specialized work group who's using Google, so it's, they can't even put a percentage to it. It's, yeah, very, very tiny, but it's there. At American, I think I mentioned this earlier. We have a centralized dedicated team. We established our centralized team in October 2022. We are sponsored, or our team is sponsored by our infrastructure and operations executive. We partner, like all of you guys, with all of the personas, even with the new allied personas that we had established in the FinOps framework. Something that we have just started this year is we have, I think the FinOps Foundation calls them champions. We also have champions. We call them cost custodians. And so they're an extension of the FinOps team. We have them in every one of our, or a few of them in every one of our portfolios, where they can who are closer. These folks are closer to the applications at every level. They can talk to them about their variances. They can talk about what resources. They also get the training for the personas, and they have an opportunity to get certified as well. So we use them and meet with them often, work with them so that they can spread the word, spread the good news, right? We've also established a CCOE where we can collaborate on new things, new technologies, new ideas, things that are working for other teams and not working for other teams. And then we also have membership to the TBMC, where we have a board member on our team, and we also have a couple seats on the customer advisory board. In terms of education and certification, where is that? Okay. At the time this was published, these are the numbers. I believe these numbers have slightly gone up, so that's good. But we've got about 20 certified practitioners, certified engineers. That number has gone up. And then 55 and more employees who have gone through the introduction to FinOps training, as well as the focus, the initial focus introduction module that came out. At American, we focused relentlessly on these capabilities. And I'm not going to go through all of the things that we accomplished or all of the things that we, I guess, the fruits of our labor. But yeah, those of you guys who are taking pictures can see them later. But we spoke to them previously on things that we're proud of, and then you'll see more on storage and compute later on. So outside, we have our challenges. Everyone has their challenges. But outside of the circle are, a lot of our challenges that we have had and have overcome and are still trying to work through. Inside of the circle is what we're, Parag and Ashwin are going to be talking more about, the cost, performance, and downtime of storage and compute. So with that, Ashwin?
Yeah. So before I start on the compute optimization, how many of you are using Databricks or AKS anywhere? Cool. So probably okay, so before, okay, so this is the tech stack that we have for Databricks, and the right-hand section we have the tech stack that we use for our AKS. So we do have platform teams, enterprise platform teams for each of it, and they do have the huge footprint supporting throughout the American Airlines teams. So here, I'm more focusing right now on the Databricks. If you look at that, the platform we have is that we have greater than 30 production workspaces and thousands of data pipelines that runs every day for ML jobs and other data engineering jobs, right? We have a data volume of greater than 5 petabytes, and we have greater than 2,000 users used Databricks on daily basis, right? So Databricks is one of our critical service at American Airlines, and most of our revenue-related jobs runs on the Databricks platform. So we do use the Databricks platform for reporting and analytics, real-time purpose. So as many of you know, the common joke for airline is the challenge is passing through the clouds, right? That is a common joke. And our challenge right now is more about the cost. How we deal with the cost, right? And what we are doing to control the cost, right? Right now, in the space which I'm talking is the Databricks, right? So Databricks is our 23% cost out of our Azure cost, and which is our white elephant that we pay every month, right? So we try to explore all the solutions by contacting Microsoft, by contacting the database team, by consulting all the FinOps family members, and then like we come up with a comprehensive solution to figure out how to control the costs, right? And then most probably like you see like the pricing strategies, like many of you know, like you deal with CSPs to control the cost using the discount, right? And apart from that, like you may use RI savings plan and the spot to control the cost on the Databricks pools, right? That is the common scenario like most people use to control the cost. And we follow the same thing, and we did it. And then we are able to control some of the costs. And at the end of the day, our workload is like increasing, and then our costs are not controlling, right? Because even though we have the RIs and savings plan, but still the workload is increasing, that is not matching, right? And we want to see like how we can control that cost, right? And we try to explore, apart from the native solution from the CSPs, right? What else we can do to make it better and control the cost, right? Since we have a big elephant here.
Ashwin, how did we end up with this solution?
That's a good question. Like we explored a lot of tools, right? And we did a lot of POCs, and we want to look at like go through the FinOps principle like iron triangle, right? We want to come back with the trade-off, like whether it is the cost, whether it is a performance, or whether it is savings, right? We want to see which one works best for the business to meet the business value, right? And then, like with the help of our visionary leaders, Rasika, Vijay, Kevin, and our Databricks leader, like Ash, like we are able to explore through our Intel partnership and with Intel, like we are able to explore a tool called Granulate from Intel. And with the tool, like we got like a better savings with that. I will go more into that. And how the tool works, I'm gonna explain, but the advantage of the tool is that like it's seamlessly integrated with the Databricks, and we don't need any extra code changes in the existing platform or anything to run it on the fly. So that is a seamless solution. That's why like we went through it. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Right. So like one major question like people ask like why we have so many tools, why these tools, right? And we explored so many solutions, like I said earlier, like, but we want to use a seamless solution with no code changes, right? By considering automation in mind. Automation is our key objective for any solution we implement at American Airlines, right? So as part of that, right, so we want to come up with an automated solution that supports business demand on the fly, not like somebody manually configuring that pool, this pool with the specific requirements. We don't want that. We want something that dynamically look at the load pattern and understand the pattern and then adjust the business, adjust the compute. So that is what we started, and then like, and we don't want like, we have like a Databricks team, like we don't want them to continuously look at the monitoring of the Databricks pools, jobs, and then dynamically adjust it when the load increases. We don't want that. So we want to give a free hands to our developers to focus on innovations, right? And we don't want any engineering overhead on anybody to write something, to invent something when we have an in-ground solutions, right, with other tools, right? And we want something like, again, everything is about cost, right? We want something cost effective, right? We don't want to spend so many millions on a tool to save something, right? We want something cheaper, save bigger, right? So that is one of the things, right? And we want to reduce the manual errors. That is most common thing people see, like when they want to implement something, they see because of so-and-so configuration issues, we deal with all day. But with that automation thing, right, focusing on automation, we will control most of the stuff, right? That's why like we went through the tool, the Granulate tool, and with that, like we don't need to make any code changes in the implementation. The integration with the Databricks is seamless, and onboarding it is the super fast. Like it's like an agent-based solution, right? You can configure the onboarding process through an init script, or through any runway templates or any like backstage templates, right? You can onboard into your database clusters since it's an agent-based solution. Or you can use like any native solutions at your workplace, you can integrate that, right? So once you have that installed in your database cluster, right, then what it's going to do is that it's going to start reading your workload, right? It's going to understand your workload patterns, like for the 2 weeks, right? You can adjust the workload the days, right? 3 more weeks, 4 more weeks. We have a couple of cases where we have to increase the duration to understand the workload pattern. Once you have the workload pattern, it understood, right? It's going to start giving you the recommendations. And to see those recommendations, right, we have to go to the granular portal and see the recommendations. Once you see the recommendations, right, like then you will see set of recommendations by your database workspace, right? You can see like evaluate like, well, really that recommendation valid for this pool, right? You can look at like each and everything, right? And then you can consider like enabling all of them at once, or you can schedule one by one depending upon your change control, right? You can also use your APIs to schedule or to use the automated solutions to seamless enabling on those database pools. So that is one of the things, like since it requires no code changes, it requires minimal effort to integrate with Databricks because it has very close integrations, and we don't need any integrations. We don't need somebody to do manual work for the onboarding. So this helped us a lot to avoid a lot of manual work in managing the Databricks workloads. Okay, so now we onboarded, we see it, and then at the end of the day, what we see is what we look for is the savings, right? And we see 23% savings from overall like our 43% Azure cost. So that is a big number for us, and that saved a lot of millions for the leaders and the company, right? And then we are very happy that we onboarded this tool with the help of the Intel partnership, and then we are able to save a lot of money. And so far, like many people have questions like, okay, we onboarded, we saved money, what next, right? And then people say like, this is not the end of the story, right? We have to do next and see what better we can do, right? Again, like me and Parag like continuously look at the RIs, savings plan, right? Even it's a Databricks, we continuously look at, even though we have Granite, we continuously look at those things and we continuously add on top of it to add more savings out of it. So since with the fruitful results we have on the Databricks, and then we started focusing on AKS, right? And then we see like what we can do better for our AKS nodes, right, to do the cost savings. And we started, sorry, I'll do the holistic. So we started doing the optimized solutions, onboarding that into the AKS, right? And then we're also planning to do these solutions into the on-prem and also the Azure virtual machines. At Azure virtual machines, it's going to also do the seamless integration. It's an agent-based software, right? So what it's going to do that, it's going to do the runtime optimization, right? So far, like trust me, like we have not seen any outages, and we have not seen any issues that impacted the business. We are very happy with the results so far. Right. So while we are doing the POC on the AKS clusters, right, and we are able to see that 20 to 25% savings on the POC clusters. And that is also a good savings on top of the regular native solutions. So this is really helping us a lot in terms of the savings. And if you look at the left side of the screen, right, apart from the monitoring and see like how it tunes, it performs, right, and how it controls the cost, we can see the cost metrics on daily basis. You can see the trend, right? And also like on the left side, you can see that that's the workload, right? When when that agent start capturing your workload, understanding your workload pattern, it also gives the visibility to see that which specific workload is actually consuming the resource, right? Apart from optimization, you're also seeing the monitoring here as an additional advantage to see the resource which is consuming on a specific pool. So this is an additional advantage like we get all together at once. And on the right side section are the normal metrics. It explains you like with the specific the tool, like how much is the savings by code, right? Without the tool, how much you pay, like a non-demand cost, right? So it will give an overview on the site, and then you can clearly see like on daily basis, you can see the trend with and without the tool, the cost. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashwin. That's a great presentation.
So before we start this one, I want to ask Parag. So Parag, storage is not expensive, right? Why did we choose to optimize in this space?
So I would say like it's a misinterpretation when you talk about the storage. It's all depend how many VMs you are using. And most of VMs, we are over allocated, and it is the case for us also. So if we go to the next slide, so you can see here in American Airlines, 9% of my bill is depend on the managed disk, which is the part of 25% of my IaaS bill. And when we analyze our disk, we found we are 84% over allocated, and we are using only 16% of utilization what we have allocated. So it's kind of we are wasting a lot of money over there. And you know, like you cannot blame to anyone when that comes with the storage part. It's always a guessing game. And when it comes to the developer, they want to make sure we have enough or more storage, and we are ending with the over allocated. So when we saw those challenges, we are looking for so we know the problem, what's the problem. So now we will comes with the challenge. First is the cost, performance, and the downtime. So the costing, like we have seen, like when a user is provision VMs with the over allocate, we are wasting the money on the day one. It's not waiting for that. And the performance also, we want to choose the tool where we will not compromise with the performance. And our plane is always on the sky, and nobody wants to do that, any performance. And the same with the downtime. We can't bear any downtimes. If we go to the legacy functionality, like where user will go or the engineer will go or expand or shrink the drive, it will be required a downtime. And we don't need those. So these are the three challenges which we have seen in the storage side. So the solution which we got it's kind of a no-ops. So which is doing the dynamic shrink and the expand the drives, and it is make sure we are utilizing our 75 to 80% of space. And also it is reducing our DevOps efforts because it's end-to-end automate, and it's a one-click onboard and offloading. If anybody wants to offload the disk, it's a single click and it will be offload. And the same thing, like it will be start saving on the day one, because on the moment you provision the VMs, it will be start functionality and it will be doing your shrink or the expand on the day one. And also, like it's eliminate the downtimes. It doesn't require a downtime when you are shrink a drive. Usually, like most of the servers, when you want to shrink a drive, you need a reboot or a shut down the VMs. But in this case, it doesn't require. The way the tool is working, it doesn't require all those things.
Can you show us how this tool works and its cost benefits?
Yeah, so I will be show you like how the tool is work and how it helps to our American Airlines in the cost. And also, like we have seen that tool doesn't affecting any kind of a performance in our areas, and we have provisioned on our non-prod and a prod environment with these tools. So the tool is which we are using, it's called Lucidity, and you can see that the snapshot is from the tool itself, where you can see the disk is increase and decrease, like shrink and expand automatically based on the data, what data we are injecting, and it basically works with the autoscaler and the agent, and it will be communicate with the disk space, and based on those things it's happened. So you can see here in the expansion, you can see like on the day one we are seeing 70 to 80% of utilizations, and there's a 1 minute auto expand and there's no downtime, and it's actually improved our IOPS on some of the VMs. So this is kind of a snapshot from my environment before and after. You can see like before we are using only 16% of utilization, which is kind of a 19.5 terabyte of disk. And after the tool we onboard, we are seeing like we are utilizing 80%, and which comes down to the 5 terabyte. That means it's a 60 to 70% of savings on the disk, and that doesn't require any code change, anything. Nothing is required. Even like you can say developer itself don't know like the tool is working. Developer will be see, oh, I allocate 2 terabyte. He will see 2 terabyte. And this is another snapshot from the tool. So it will be give you the dashboard where you can see how it is like pre and post lucidity, and it will be give you a scorecard also where you can like see how much I can like what's my scorecard and how I can more onboard the VMs, and what are my unrealized savings. And it will be give you a SRE call also. SRE call is nothing, it is just showing look how many times it will be do the shrink and expand the drive. On the right side you can see all those activities where the VMs is happen, like when it gets shrink and when it get expand, because some of the audits it's required, like when you are doing the VMs activity they need the audit logs and all those things. So everything you can pull out from the tool. So and this is the another things like before the lucidity, it is a work for the engineering team which will be do the shrink or which will be do the expand. And you know, like when you touch or when it's a human touch, there will be always a mistake, human mistake, and you will be see a downtime once in a quarter. Once we move to the tool, we have seen everything is bring down like from 100 FT days to bring to 10 days, and there is zero downtime because everything is works with the agent and the autoscaler, and we have not seen any downtime till now.
Parag, can you tell us the level of effort it is to onboard and deboard these disks?
Yeah, so that is also like one of the challenges we are facing, like when we are talking to the another business unit and we are saying, hey, we are bringing this tool, and everybody, hey, we already have a tight schedule, we can't do anything, we can't adjust you. So we need a tool where we need a minimum human efforts, and we want to be like if user wants to use, they will be used, or if application team wants to deboard the dogs, they can do that. So in this snapshot you can see it's a single click onboard and a single click deboard. So single click means like when you are if you want to onboard your disk, you just need to click on the portal, that's it. But although it will take a 45 minutes because it's a data disk and it will be copy your all the data and provision those things. But from the engineering perspective, you don't need to do anything, you just need to click. After a certain time or some any issue, like maybe sometime if user is saying, hey, I don't want this tool on my VM, I want to deboard. Okay, single click. It will be a single click to deboard the disk also. And again, like it will be take some time to deboard everything, but it doesn't require any human or monitoring or anything. So this is the summary what we have seen, like we have a tool which is doing our automation, like end-to-end automation. It is remove our capacity planning also because it is doing by their own. It is maintaining those 75 to 80% of utilizations, and also it will be increase our performance by selecting the correct disk and everything. We have seen zero downtime till now, and we have seen 70% of cost reduction in our managed disk area. And also it will be save engineering hours for our team.
Yeah. So like I said before, right? I spoke about granular tool, right? That is one of the optimization tool we use, right? We do have similar optimization tools that we leveraged. We have a native solutions, right, from our company, and we also use the native solutions from the CSPs, and also we use the native solutions from the vendors, right? Altogether, like we are able to achieve the optimization savings for the company, right? So that's where like we have like so many optimized solutions, and what we believe is that there is no one solution to every problem, right? So we have to figure out the right solution to the right problem, right? And then on top of it, you can add what are the customization that helps the business. So that is what like we followed, and we achieved the automation wins for the company, and capacity provisioning, like if you take example of compute, right? And we do have like huge capacity if you look at the compute level. Apart from the Databricks, we also you have so much compute that leverage for different workloads. And apart from the solutions, we added it, and then like we integrated it. And we also like, once we added it, and the next question is that like how we show the accountability, right? And once we show the accountability, and the enterprise teams comes and ask us like, oh, can you do the showback, right? And then like once we do the showback, and then teams will come and ask like, can you do the chargeback, right? So it's a FinOps lifecycle process. Like we have to follow through it, right? And on top of it is the optimization wins. That is where like we are going through it. When it comes to the specific optimization wins on the Azure service level, which we are focusing right now, with these onboarding autonomous solutions, right, we are able to achieve the capacity provisioning to meet the business demands. If you take example of the granular tool, which I explained you before, right? So it is an autonomous solutions, like we don't need anybody to manually spin up or spin down to load or the compute to match the demand. This is an autonomous tool helping the teams, right, understand the workloads, right, and then dynamically scaling their underlying compute, right, the node pools, right, it is expanding it and scaling down up and down based on the workload it demands. So that is where our automation wins starts from there, because we see the fruitful results from there. And the waste provision, like I said, like we have the huge compute used for different workloads. Understanding the workloads, understanding their use case, understanding their requirements, and then allowing the specific expenses queues, especially with respect to the cost, right? Allowing the specific expenses queues only to the specific people on demand basis with an approval process is helping us to control the optimization costs. And that we consider that is also win with respect to the cost. And with respect to the performance, and what we are, like I said, like we are looking for autonomous solutions. And apart from the cost savings, right, what we look is the performance, right, the application performance, and any specific native solutions or what are homegrown solutions, how it is behaving with or integrating with the underlying service, right? And we look for the solutions that underlying service closely integrates and works well. That is where like we see the performance improvements, right? Not only the cost savings all the time, we also consider the trade-off value with respect to the performance. And the next thing is stability, and stability is very important in any platform, right? So we also focus on that. And the last thing, that the downtime, right? Like I said, like pick any autonomous solution that gives you no downtime, no manual work, and no headache, that helps you with all the solutions.
Yeah, so this is just a summary for what are the tools we are using. with the different phases on our FinOps practice. Most of us, for the inform, we are using cost management and optimization. For optimization, we are using log analytics or monitoring. And for the operate, we are heavily using our automations and all those things. So these tools are framed with the way how the FinOps practice or the phases is going. And that's what, as an American, we are using all those things. Go ahead. Okay.
Perfect. So to move the needle at American, we are going to be, to focus forward. We want to focus relentlessly. That's our theme at American, focus relentlessly on unit economics. Get to that unicorn. That little baby signifies we're still at the baby stage, even though we're kind of using the terminology at American. We want to do chargebacks. We want to get better on our cloud policy and governance, and we want to get to that 100% allocation model. We want to improve on our workload optimizations, because that's always a continuous thing. And those are some of the specific goals or specific projects, if you will, that we want to do internally at American. Oh, sorry, I'll put that back up. But if you want to connect with us, this is our information. And I think this one is what people were.
Can you?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. So when you all finish your optimization, how are you reinvesting those dollars to innovate inside of America?
Oh, that's a really good question. We have just implemented a savings program where we're taking those savings and essentially getting the teams to kind of ask us back, let us know what they want to do for their innovations. And depending on how much we've saved in the cloud, we're able to kind of reinvest or allow them to reinvest. And sometimes when they have saved a certain, a reasonable amount in their own budget, they're able to kind of claim that and reinvest in their own space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, adding one more thing, when we are seeing people are saving the money, so we arrange the trainings also, for the different, it can be a training with their area or in the FinOps area. So we invest those dollars in education also.
And if I add on top of it, right, we got the savings, right, and we invest that money in the community community learnings for all throughout the company, right? We invest in training for those people, and also we use that money for other autonomous solutions that can integrate in other places.
Thanks for the presentation. I know that American Airlines was an early adopter of internal developer portal. You can hear me?
I mean, it's an echo.
Okay, sorry. Thanks for the presentation. I know that American Airlines was a early adopter of internal developer portal. Does this kind of technology help in the FinOps culture inside the company? Backstage. Yeah.
Yeah, so Backstage is one of the self-service portal which we are using, and it's really help us. So the thing is that I will not go to the much deeper, but it's help us to make a standardize of all the resources. Some of the Azure policy which we put on our Azure, where the user cannot provision the resources on the portal or through the PowerShell or any other command line. But Backstages, we encourage the people to use the Backstage, so that we will make the standardized. If you Kim already mentioned, we are around 90 to 98% of tagged. We are tagged because we are on the standardized, so it's not like people are going and provision the VMs and putting test 1, 2, 3 or something like that.
Our focus on Backstage is all about self-service process.
Yeah.
We are actually out of time. Thank you so much for sharing so much insight. Are you willing to stick around for a little bit for all the extra time?
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching. Check out more FinOps X 2024 content on our YouTube channel on the 2024 playlist. Support our channel by liking, subscribing, clicking the notification bell, and by leaving comments and questions for our speakers. We appreciate your support.